Hey perverts, it's Tommy Purr, back with another edition of Tommy Likes It on the Rogue Toys YouTube channel. This is the talk show where I talk about toys that interest me and toys that I hope interest you.
Hi, I'm Tommy, and I'm your friend to the end. Heidi-ho! Ha ha ha!
So for today's edition of Tommy Likes It, we were originally scheduled to take a look at the NECA Ultimate Ghostface figure. However, when your boss calls you in the middle of the night and tells you that the new Hasbro Marvel Legends Into the Spider-Verse figures have arrived in the store, naturally you push aside the slightly older product to take a look at the brand new figures that you've been waiting for. And we've got Miles Morales and we've got Peter B. Parker here. Now, I was most excited for Peter B. Parker. I just think he looks so fun. He's just a schlub. He's just a down-on-your-luck Spider-Man. And Miles Morales is definitely nothing to sneeze on, or sneeze at, or sleep on, or whatever that saying goes. But I'm very, very, very excited. I mean, this is the one that I was waiting for the most, but I'm definitely not going to say no to free toys. I mean, come on. I mean, that's like the best job in the world, right? Come on. For you Mint on Card collectors, you can see all the accessories right here in the window display. Nothing's really hidden, which is nice. These are part of the Stiltman Build-A-Figure wave, so they come with parts to build Stiltman. And on the side here, you have artwork depicting the characters from Into the Spider-Verse. The same artwork is on the sides over here. And on the back, you have a small bio, as well as pictures of the other characters in the wave, which include Gwen Stacy from Into the Spider-Verse, as well as Prowler, and you also have Frogman and a Hand Ninja, which people are definitely going to army build and are probably going to use as the Red Ninjas for G.I. Joe Classified. So that's all well and good. The Hand Ninja is probably going to be the hardest one to find because people are going to army build that one. It's to be expected, y'all. It's to be expected. But these figures are available on RogueToys.com, and you can pick them up in our stores, 3 in Las Vegas, 1 in Portland, and 1 in Salt Lake City. But let's go ahead. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's open up these bad boys and take a look at paint application, articulation, and accessories, shall we?
Unicorn.
So first up, right out of the gate, we're going to take a look at Peter B. Parker. And this figure is just so much fun. I love everything about this figure. He has pretty much all new tooling and molding, and that is wonderful because it could have been really easy for Hasbro just to call it in, phone it in, half-ass it, and just use their regular bucks and body molds that they've been using for the past several years. But they didn't do that, and thank goodness for that. As you can see here, we'll start from the bottom up. He's got he's got his 2 mismatched shoes right there. He's got thinner legs than most Marvel Legends male figures. He's got his gray sweatpants, which I'm sure all the ladies will love. He does have this jacket here, which will probably limit his ability to sit. Again, this is one figure that could have probably benefited from a soft goods coat, but in the same respect, I do like the molding and the vinyl type coat because you're able to get some really nice details that you probably wouldn't get with a soft goods coat. So you get nice details like the buttons and the zipper and the shading of the folds and the pockets as well. You do have really good articulation with the legs, as you should because it is Spider-Man, so your legs can go out that far apart. They go up pretty high, they go back pretty far. You do have a thigh cut and double jointed knees, as you should. You do have an ankle swivel. The figure for me was a little bit stiff when maneuvering around the joints, so be mindful of that, everyone. You might have to heat up your figure. You do have double jointed elbows. You do have a bicep cut and a wrist swivel and wrist joint. Your arm can go out that high, that far out, but can go out, it can go up that high when maneuvering it around. You have a waist articulation. Wait, do you have a waist articulation? You do have a waist articulation. And you have a chest swivel as well, instead of the typical regular ab crunch. And that's also because he's got, you know, a little bit of a what we call a skinny fat dad bod paunch right there. Nice logo right there, but again, with the laziness from Hasbro, no paint on the lining of the suit, which always disappoints me when they do this to the figure. When they do it to Spider-Man, I just hate it. Like, I mean, I hate it. I hate it so much. But there's so much good about this figure that I'm just gonna ignore it and overlook it. And thank God the coat kind of covers most of that, right? So there's the back view of the figure, and I love his hair. I love his expression. His nice little 5 o'clock shadow right there too. Zoom in there, and there we go. He's got a great looking face. This actually looks like my friend Effie, who's a professional wrestler as well. Really big on the indie scene right now, but he has really, my friend Effie has a better mustache. This guy just has a nice little 5 o'clock shadow, which I really love. I just love his whole look. I love the eyes. They nailed the likeness perfectly. The hair is amazing. Head goes all the way around. Head can look up. Head can look down. And let's take a look at the accessories really quick. Peter Parker mentors Miles Morales, an all-new Spider-Man, to understand the importance of power and responsibility. Peter Parker comes equipped with Spider-Man hands. He's got his web shooter hands for both his right and his left, and he has closed fists for both hands as well. And Peter B. Parker also comes with this slightly unmasked head, and I say slightly because he's still kind of wearing his mask. And I love his expression. The eyebrows are amazing, the little smirk, and he doesn't have the 5 o'clock shadow. And if you wanted to, you could paint over the eyes or sculpt over them or Dremel them off, and you have Peter Parker wearing a beanie. Peter Parker also comes with this to-go cup, which has really nice lines molded on it. The blue and the yellow are not just painted on there, they are molded. And the straw is bendy, so you don't have to worry about it snapping off if it falls to the ground or if it falls out of his hand. In terms of the Stilt Man Build-A-Figure, Peter B. Parker comes with the head of Stilt Man. And here's the Miles Morales figure out of the box. And if you were impressed with Peter B. Parker's tooling, you will be even more impressed with what they did with Miles Morales. This looks to be a lot of new parts, which I am a fan of, and they nailed the likeness perfectly for Miles. My only issue is I have a small black line right above the eyebrows, which nail polish remover didn't even remove, so that's fun. But the likeness is awesome. I love his face. The hair is great. The frame is perfect. He does have really thin legs, so he might fall over very easily, but he wasn't hard to stand up. Right now, articulation-wise, your legs can go this far apart. They can go up this high in the front. They can go this far in the back. You have double jointed knees. You have an ankle pivot, an ankle joint. However, you don't have a boot cut. Instead, if you would like to move the position of the legs, of the feet, you have to rotate the leg just above the knee. There is a joint inside the shorts above the knee. The shorts look to be a new piece with the belt. You've got the textured lining of the suit right there underneath the hoodie and the jacket, which are two separate pieces. So if you wanted to pull this figure apart for fodder, for a custom, you can easily remove the jacket and the hoodie part and use that on a figure. It's a really nice touch. He comes packaged with his web shooting hand on the right side and a fist on the other. You have single jointed elbows for the jacket. I think this is because the jacket is kind of bulky, so they couldn't really give him double jointed elbows. You've got a wrist joint and wrist swivel. You do not have a bicep cut, but your arm can go up this far when positioned that way, and it can go up all the way and around. So that's nice. And then you do have the articulation there. And it can rotate at the elbow, which is nice. With your head, you can look up this high, and then you can look down. and you have your waist articulation, and you have a really good abdominal crunch right there. So you can pose him perfectly as Spider-Man, like shooting through the city of New York. Pretty awesome. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories that come with Miles Morales. A Brooklyn native and just 13 years old, Miles Morales is a Spider-Man unlike any we've ever seen before. The Miles Morales Hasbro Marvel Legend figure from Into the Spider-Verse comes with an awesome masked alternate head, with really great paint around the eyes and nice web texturing. Miles Morales also comes with an extra web shooting hand for his left hand and an extra closed fist for his right hand. In terms of the Stiltman Build-A-Figure, you get the half-domed backpack. Simply slip this over the head of the Stiltman Build-A-Figure and plug the peg into the back for security, and you complete your look. Interestingly enough about these figures today, both Miles Morales and Peter B. Parker possess the new pinless and pegless Marvel Legends bodies. Now, you cannot see the pins that hold the figures together at their joints. Many people have claimed that this is so you can take better action figure photos with these particular toys. However, a trusted source of mine has told me discreetly that this is Hasbro's answer to stopping customizers from basically outdoing them with modifying figures. Whether you choose to believe this or not, there's no denying that Miles Morales and Peter B. Parker are both amazing figures. So, where do they stand on the perfect 10 scale? First up, Peter B. Parker. On a scale of 1 to a perfect 10, we are going to give Peter B. Parker a 9.5. He has wonderful articulation, and they nailed the likeness of the Into the Spider-Verse Peter Parker perfectly. However, Hasbro's refusal to trace the linings of the webbing on the Spider-Man costume continues to be a problematic issue every time they release a Spider-Man figure, and for that reason, he is a 9.5. Yes, that's right. Hasbro is just 0.5 points away from a perfect score for Peter B. Parker because they refuse to trace out the lining of the webbing. I know it might sound superficial and petty, but it is a real issue, especially when the box art on the Marvel Legends box depicts him with black webbing lines on his suit. By comparison, Miles Morales, the successor to Peter Parker, scores a perfect 10 on our rating system. The figure boasts superior articulation, as well as new tooling and body molding. The separate jacket and hoodie pieces, as well as the dead-on likeness in the face, and the superior articulation help put this figure over the top by comparison to Peter B. Parker. Whether you agree with my ratings or not, Miles and Peter are both welcome additions to the Marvel Legends collection. Both figures are so much fun to pose, they are so much fun to photograph, and they are going to fit in so well with my collection. I already have spaces set aside for them, and if you're a Spider-Man fan, these two are must-haves. So if you enjoyed this review, and if you are sold on the idea of adding Miles and Peter to your collection, please, please, please check out RogueToys.com or visit us at any of our physical locations in Vegas, Portland, or Salt Lake City and pick up your Miles and Peter B. Parker today. And don't forget, if you order online through RogueToys.com, orders over $50 get free shipping. Be sure to also check out the Rogue Toys Facebook page and tune in every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to check out the Facebook Live Claim Show starring the toy experts Crystal and Steve. And finally, follow me on social media. You can find me on Twitter at rareform, RAWR_form. You can find me on Instagram at the_man_diva. You can follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/officially Purrfect. And if you'd also like to purchase Tommy Purr merchandise, check out my store on storefrontier.com/merchandise. And once again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it. Be sure to stay catty, and we'll see you next Tuesday.